Why a Vietnamese billionaire has been sentenced to death. A 67-year-old Vietnamese property developer, Lan Trong, has recently faced a severe punishment for his involvement in looting one of the country's largest banks over 11 years. It's an extraordinary verdict. She stands out as one of the few women in Vietnam who has been condemned to death for a white-collar crime. This choice exemplifies the staggering magnitude of the deception. Trong My Lan found herself facing a conviction for the allegedly obtaining a staggering $44 billion in loans from the Saigon Commercial Bank. According to prosecutors, the verdict has mandated her to repay a staggering $27 billion, a sum they fear may prove impossible to recover fully. There's a belief that the court sees the death penalty as a means to motivate her to give back some of the missing billions. The typically secretive communist authority surprised everyone by being unusually open about this case, providing intricate details to the media. According to reports, a staggering number of individuals, approximately 2,700, were called upon to provide testimony. This extensive process also included the participation of 10 state prosecutors and around 200 lawyers. According to state media, Lan was born in 1956 in Ho Chi Minh City. Her mother was a market trader who sold cosmetics. In 1992, she established Van Tien Phat, which later acquired prestigious hotels, restaurants, luxury apartments, and made investments in financial services. A number of its real estate projects are situated in highly sought-after areas in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City. According to investigators, the Van Tien Phat ecosystem consisted of over 1,000 businesses, which included a collection of ghost companies and a network of international interests. According to state media, Lan and her husband, Eric Chu Nap Ki, crossed paths in the early 90s when he was on the lookout for investment opportunities. On Thursday, the Hong Kong billionaire received a 9-year prison sentence. There were 104 boxes, each weighing 6 tons, containing the evidence. Truong My Lan and 85 others faced trial and vehemently denied the charges brought against them. They have the option to appeal the verdict. The verdict was unanimous, guilty for all the defendants. 4 individuals were sentenced to life in prison. The remaining individuals received prison sentences ranging from 20 years to 3 years suspended. Truong My Lan's husband and niece were both sentenced to lengthy prison terms, 9 years for her husband and 17 for her niece. The trial unfolded as a captivating chapter in the ongoing Blazing Furnaces anti-corruption campaign, spearheaded by the esteemed Communist Party Secretary General Nguyen Phu Trong. Nguyen Phu Trong, a staunch conservative with a deep understanding of Marxist theory, believes that uncontrolled corruption has become a grave danger to the Communist Party's absolute control over the government. In 2016, he embarked on the campaign with determination, having skillfully outmaneuvered the pro-business prime minister to secure his position as the party's leader. The campaign has witnessed the downfall of 2 presidents and 2 deputy prime ministers, along with the punishment or imprisonment of numerous officials. Adding to their numbers is the recent inclusion of one of the wealthiest women in the country. Truong My Lan hails from a Sino-Vietnamese family in Ho Chi Minh City's vibrant city, formerly Saigon. This bustling city has been the driving force behind Vietnam's economy for ages. Its roots can be traced back to when it stood as the capital of South Vietnam, opposing communism and boasting a vibrant ethnic Chinese population. Once a humble market stall vendor, she embarked on a new path where the winds of change blew through the country. With the advent of economic reform in 1986, she seized the opportunity to expand her horizons, venturing into land and property acquisition. In the 1990s, she had amassed an impressive collection of hotels and restaurants. In addition to booming manufacturing sector, Vietnam has seen many affluent individuals amass their wealth through property development and speculation. Every piece of land is under the ownership of the state. Securing access to it frequently hinges on personal connections with state officials. As the economy flourished, corruption spread like wildfire, inflicting every aspect of society. 2011 was when Truong My Lan established herself as a prominent business figure in Ho Chi Minh City. With her expertise, she successfully consolidated 3 struggling banks into one larger institution, Saigon Commercial Bank. By Vietnamese law, it is not permitted for any individual to possess a stake exceeding 5% in any bank. According to prosecutors, Truong My Lan allegedly controlled over 90% of Saigon Commercial by utilizing from numerous shell companies and individuals as her representatives. She was accused of wielding her power to handpick her team of managers, who were then instructed to greenlight innumerable loans for the web of shell companies under her control. The sums withdrawn are genuinely astonishing. Most of the bank's lending comprised her loans, accounting for a staggering 93%. Prosecutors claim that for 3 years, starting in February 2019, she allegedly instructed her driver to withdraw a staggering amount of 108 trillion Vietnamese dong, which is equivalent to over $4 billion in cash, and store it in her basement. Imagine the sheer weight of that amount of money, even if it were all in Vietnam's largest denomination banknotes. It would be a staggering 2 tons. Accusations were made against her for generously bribing to avoid any scrutiny of her loans. In a shocking turn of events, a former chief inspector at the central bank has been handed a life sentence. The reason behind this severe punishment? Accepting a staggering $5 million bribe. This incident has sent shockwaves through the financial community, raising questions about the integrity and trustworthiness of those in positions of power. Public outrage over corruption was fueled by the extensive media coverage surrounding Truong Milan's case. Her tired and unadorned appearance in court sharply contrasted with the glamorous images previously circulated. Everyone in the market knew that Truong Milan and her group used SCB as their piggy bank to finance their extensive real estate acquisitions in highly sought-after areas. It was clear that she needed to find a source of money. However, it was a practice that was widely adopted. Other banks are also utilized similarly. The government may have lost sight of the issue due to the abundance of similar cases in the market. According to David Brown, Ho Chi Minh City held sway over business and politics for a considerable period, and they played a role in protecting her. He observes a more significant element at play in how this trial is being conducted, an attempt to reaffirm the dominance of the Communist Party over the entrepreneurial spirit of the southern region. Nguyen Phu Trong and his party allies are trying to regain control of Saigon, or at the very least prevent it from slipping away. In the years leading up to 2016, the party in Hanoi allowed a particular group to influence the city significantly. They would fulfill their expected roles as local communist leaders while secretly profiting from the city's lucrative ventures. With his advanced age of 79, Party Chief Trong's health is uncertain, making his retirement at the next Communist Party Congress in 2026 highly likely, where new leaders will be chosen. He is widely recognized as one of the most influential and enduring secretaries general, successfully revitalizing the party's conservative wing to a degree unmatched since the transformative reforms of the 1980s. He's unwilling to take any chance that might jeopardize the party's firm grip on political power, yet he finds himself ensnared in a paradox. With his guidance, the party has embarked on an ambitious journey towards achieving the status of a wealthy nation by 2045, fostering an economy driven by technology and knowledge. This is the underlying force behind the increasingly close alliance with the United States. However, with the rapid development in Vietnam, it is almost certain that corruption will continue to rise. When corruption is aggressively tackled, there is a potential risk of dampening economic activity. Some concerns have been raised about the bureaucracy's sluggishness, as officials seem hesitant to make decisions that could potentially implicate them in a corruption case. Cameras captured the scene inside the court as Lan appeared visibly restless and apprehensive before the verdict was announced. Meanwhile, her co-accused sat solemnly, their heads lowered. Nevertheless, the crackdown on corruption has had a detrimental impact on Vietnam's economy, causing concern among foreign investors. Despite this, many analysts have committed the campaign's objective of enhancing the rule of law.